Hi everyone, my name is Lori, my nickname is Reenie, and this is Reenie Bobini Creations. If it's the first time you've stopped by to check out my channel, I'd like to offer you a very warm welcome. And to my subscribers, love you guys, thanks so much for coming back. This one's going to be really fun. So I kind of have a twofer for you today. The first one, I just wanted to make a set of 3 of something for Easter, and it turned out so cute. And the second one actually took me way longer to make, but the video was way shorter and you'll see why, but the results were stunning. I'm so pleased with it. So let me stop yakking at you and we'll get on with the crafting. Okay, so to add a little more Easter to the house, we're going to make sort of this little 3-piece display, I guess. So I have this, I already had it in my stash. I have it like that on one side because I'm a sunflower girl. And I just sort of gave the back coat a bit of a paint. I'm going to give this a good paint of the chalk paint as well. And this was something I had in my stash, and again, just put a base coat of the white chalk paint. So then I picked up these adorable napkins. How cute are these? I absolutely love them. And we're going to incorporate them into our pieces and make them all sort of the same. As well as, I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to use these or not, but I saw these as well and I thought they might go pretty well. These are, of course, from the Dollarama, as I think the napkins actually came from Walmart, but they were incredibly inexpensive. So to start, I haven't given the bucket a coat of paint yet, but I'll spare you that long process. Well, it's not really long, is it, with chalk paint? But we're going to start by just, oh, there's my tear, I think. Oh, this should not be this hard. Okay, so I'm just going to take one of those out, and I'm hoping there is more than one. So what you need to do on these is get the layers off. You want to be down to the last layer. And to do that, I know some people use just a piece of masking tape, which I have resorted to. Sometimes they come apart easy. This one did, good. And I think there might even be another one on this one, because it seems still kind of, yep, this one came apart real easy. So you want to get down to that final layer, and usually they're very see-through once you get there. And I love that there's bunnies on all 3 pieces. Now I don't throw away my backing and stuff because I kind of like to use it as blotters, or there's, you know, if I'm doing some tissue paper craft or Mod Podging craft. But for this one, because we want a specific area, I'm going to take a little paintbrush and just put some water on it, and I'm just going to sort of trace around. Now I'm not worried about these bubbles because I find that once I've Mod Podged them, they tend to go away and I don't need to worry about it. If you want to, you can certainly take an iron. I would say put some parchment paper over just so you don't scorch it, and iron it flat. Like I said, I haven't had any real troubles with the little dots or impressions peeking through after I've Mod Podged it. So I'm just going all the way around the bunny where I want him cut out, and then he'll just tear exactly sort of where we want him. There, and now we can lay him out where we want him. Now I'm also going to, but this one I'm going to cut with my scissors. I want this green gingham as well. So I'm just going to cut right along there. And I'll just cut this bit all the way out, and we'll just see how much we actually need. the side. I'm not sure if I want to do it on the top and the bottom or just the top. I think I'll just do it. I think I'll just do it at the top, and that way if I want to put a saying or something down here after, I can do that. So I'm just going to cut it. It doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to sand those edges after. And then getting our handy little Mod Podge. Now I did think about trying that technique that everybody's doing where you let the Mod Podge dry and then you iron it. But I decided for this project it was just so little, I was just going to do it this way. But I may have another project we might try that on. So I am going to do the top first just to make sure I have the space that I need for my bunny. And I place that right. And being that it's a small space, I'm just kind of doing it all in one. I am not worried about a few wrinkles in this whatsoever. If you are, you can certainly do it a section at a time and then just take you some saran wrap and smooth it down. But in this one, I'm not worried about that at all. Alright, so I'm just going to set him aside to dry for a bit, and when he's dry, we're going to come back in and add some extra embellishments, maybe a little Happy Easter sign or something. I haven't quite decided what I want it to say. And then when we're all done, I am going to paint, once I put the decals and stuff on, I'm going to give it a full coat of Mod Podge. And I wanted to mention that because when you look at this right now, now it is wet, so it's more obvious, you'll see a different sheen on your paint compared to where you Mod Podged if you don't do that. So even if this was the last step you were going to do, I would still go in with a coat of Mod Podge over the entire piece just to make it all blend together. So I'm going to set that one aside, and then we're going to do something very similar with this bunny. We're going to put it on our thing here. Now you can see I already did have something on there and I was good with the wrinkled look, and so we're just going to stick with that because otherwise it would be a lot of sanding, and it's still winter here. We still have quite a bit of snow on the ground, and I don't have a garage to go sand in. So I'm just going to cut this one sort of to shape and then just tear a little bit on this one. Because on this one we will probably do an edging kind of a thing. Actually, we'll probably do it on all of them, but this one, sometimes just due to the shape and stuff, it's a little bit better. So I'm just going to gently tear. And the reason we do that, if you're not someone who's done this before, is it helps it blend into your piece more seamlessly than having a straight line. And we have some other tricks up our sleeves to make that happen as well. So when we get to that point, I'll show you that as well. So it just looks like it's all one piece and not just something just sort of glued on. Okay. So I'm just going to kind of lay it out again where I want it. I am going to use some of this along the bottom. I'm not going to go all the way around because I want this to be good for more than one season, right? So my sunflowers on one side and maybe my spring and Easter on the other. So because this one is a little bit more precise, I'm going to just cut my lines a little bit straighter on this one, and thankfully the gingham gives us that line to follow. I am not a great cutter, if that's a word. I I see people cut out like perfect circles and all the rest, and I can trace them out and I still can't cut perfect. So I do a little bit of cheating when it doesn't work out well, and then that is not going to go through my Cricut. So pretty sure that would just tear it to shreds. So I can't cheat that way with this one either. I think I'll just trim off the edge that's really uneven. Okay, and again, I am going to start with the gingham, just because of placement. I want to make sure I place it where it's going to be in a good spot for my bunny. Okay, we'll set him aside to dry as well. And again, we'll do a similar thing once we have it all together. We will go over it with a full coat of Mod Podge so all my finishes match. So I'm going to now give my bucket a coat of white chalk paint. I'm just using, what is this? Folk Art. I got a set of these on Amazon. I wanted to try them and I didn't want to buy big bottles until I knew I liked them. I do. They're quite good. I'm quite pleased with them. So that's all I'm going to use. And of course, as always, use what colors suit you and your home decor. I have mentioned on my channel, Easter's the one sort of season that I have trouble fitting into my home decor. I have sort of more the fall tones, which works for Halloween and it works for like Christmas is easy because I got red in here. So there's lots of ones it works for, but I really have a challenge finding things that will work well for my home decor for Easter because it's the pastels and the pastels just don't really suit my home. So I find little ways to make it work, but those are kind of pastels and mosses, but they're not the pinks and yellows, and as much as I like them, they just don't suit my home. So I just find little ways to incorporate it here and there. Okay, so everything's all dry now. And so I'm just going to take, I don't even know what grit this is, it was just what was close, and I'm just going to sand the edges off. And you're going to sound in like a downward motion so that you're not pulling it off. Okay, so that's where we're at. So now I have decided on a few stickers, and again, these are from the Dollarama. And I'm thinking I'm just gonna, I may not even do a sign on this one. Let's just see what else we have here that might work for us. Oh, we have some butterflies in this one. Maybe let's try a butterfly. And you do get two in a pack. So you get two of the same ones in a pack. I'm not stuck on this one. I do like the butterflies, but this one's just not working for me. And let's see what else we've got. wonder if those blue ones would work. Let's have a peek at those. I do love these stickers though. I think they're just absolutely gorgeous. Let's see. I like this one. Yeah, I think I do like that one. Just to add, I mean, you don't have to do this for sure, but I just wanted to add them in a few places and just sort of incorporate a few things. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that one, I think. We have another butterfly. No, I think we're good. Okay, so the other thing that I did to edge this, I just mixed, I didn't have a paint that was exactly the color I wanted, so I just mixed them. Let me get this out of the way here. Until I got a color I was happy with. And I'm just gonna paint all around the edge here, all the frame of it. Okay, so while the paint is drying, let's get that out of the way here. For this one, I'm going to do it a little bit different because of all the raised bits, which I was good with. I'm just going to take a light sandpaper. And this is going to cause them to be a little bit aged. And we're going to go with that theme on all of them. But because of all the wrinkles on this one, but giving them a light sand first would really help that effect. Okay, so now he's all kind of sanded and he's still wrinkled, but he's smoother than he was. So we're going to do a little aging on this one, and we're going to do it on actually all of them when they're dry and ready. So the first thing I'm going to do is take some of this, just the chalk paint that we were using to paint our bases. And I'm going to dry my brush off pretty dry, and just to help blend that picture, so again it doesn't just look like, you know, we just glued something on there. I'm just going to kind of go around the edges, and I'm not going to worry if I get a little bit of paint on the picture itself. We don't want to paint right over it, but we kind of want it to look blended, and so you can't tell where one starts and the next ends. I'm going to do that along the edge of our gingham too, especially because it's not going all the way around, so I can have the more than one season on there. Okay. So once that's done, I'm going to come in with a little brown, which I left over there one moment. So I've just got this, I think this is my espresso, yes, which is one of my favorite browns. But we're going to tone it way down. I looked for sort of a nice beige. I didn't really have one that I thought would work for this. So we're going to make our own, much like I did the other paint. So I'm going to just put some white. Now when you're adding a color to white, you want to do like a drop at a time, because a little bit like that might be too much, I'm actually thinking. Well, let's find out. But a little bit does go a long way when you're adding to white. Now if you're starting with a dark color and trying to lighten it, the opposite is true. You need a lot of white. Okay, yeah, I'm pretty happy with that one now. So this time though, we're going to use a sponge. I am so disorganized today. Where did I put the sponge? I'm just going to grab another one. Okay, got my little beat up old foam brush here. I'm just going to dip it in my water and get it wet, but wring it out. Then I am going to come in with our paint, and you don't want a lot on your brush or on your sponge, just a little, and we can always tap it off on my ugly overused paper towel. And now I'm just sort of going to go around the edges and work my way out. And we may add a little more dark after and sort of make it darker as it goes out. And I am going to let that dry just a little bit. And then we're going to add a little bit more of the brown and go out from there as well. And I may even do the top here. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to handle that. But I'm just going to set that aside to dry so we can come back to our other bunny and do the same on him, because he should be pretty dry now. So again, just popping into the brown paint, take most off. And then I'm going to go all the way around not only our little bunny, but also the flower. And I'm going to purposefully go a little bit on the flower. Now, because the little flower we added is a bit thicker paper than, obviously, than the napkin, it is going to give you that edge, but I'm hoping it kind of helps it to blend, and we are going to go over it with Mod Podge as well when we're done here. You can see how it just really blends those lines, so it just doesn't look like just a piece of something just glued on. It kind of blends it all together. And then I think I'm going to wait until we do the little bit darker here, and then we'll kind of age all the edges as well. But again, I'm going to just lay that aside to dry for a few minutes. And we will do our bucket as well. Okay, so there's our little bucket buddy. And I did paint just this bit on the edges in that same green that I made to match the gingham. And of course I've done the sort of sponging around the edge. And on the bunny one, just because the white is quite stark, as you can see, I've just sort of very little paint, just sort of distressed it a little bit. Now I did add a little bit of more of the dark brown to this, and I'm even going to go in with one tiny more drop, and hopefully I don't overdo it because this paint can go faster than usual. And we're going to just add sort of another layer of that around all of our pieces here, and kind of do the edges. That should be okay. So especially for this one, I'm just going to take it and go around the hardware and just sort of age and distress it around there. And then same with along the bottom bit. I don't want to get rid of all that green on there, but I just kind of want to just along the bottom of it. You can see on this one I put the butterfly and the flowers on the back, and I did forget on the I don't know what you call it, the jug, but I did go ahead and add on. I'll show those to you here in just a minute. And same thing along the rim. I'm not going to do the whole room, just little spots here and there. So there's our little bucket. I really actually love the little bucket. So we'll go back to our little bunny here, and we're just going to, again, with that slightly darker, just go around one more time, and then thinking I have a bit much on there, so let's take some off. And then on this one, I'm just going to take the brush and just go right the way around on, or not the brush, the sponge here. And then maybe just a bit of the corners. bunny one on the canvas or the plaque. I am going to, like I said, give it a good coat of Mod Podge. That'll make sure those stickers stay where they're supposed to be, and it'll just give it the sheen will be the same all the way across and make it look more cohesive. But I'll do that one off camera. So here's our jug, same kind of thing. I'm just going to go back in, take some off. Let's go a bit further out on this one. Right, so now we're just going to go and put some ribbons, just the final touches, and I've got this beautiful lavender ribbon. I was hoping I had some green gingham. I didn't, but actually I think this is going to work really well, and you'll see why when we're done. So I'm just deciding, I'm just going to do just like a shoelace bow. I'm not doing anything too fancy on this one. Like that, and then I was gonna put one on the handle, but I think that's all this one needs actually. And then I will do the same. I'll just make a little bow around our bucket corner here. Let's see which side. Let's do it on this side. And I think I am just going to use a little spot of hot glue on this just to make his tails sit where I kind of like them, because they're not cooperating with me. So just a little, just a drop. Let's see where I do want them first. That's our little bunny bucket. So the last thing, these bits are all done. Just set them aside for a minute. And the last thing I've got, which I've moved out of my way, I love the Dollarama's lavender stems. I think they just are so pretty. And so I picked these ones up, and I went there the other day to pick some up for this project, and they were out, and I was trying to come up with a plan B because I really had this in mind. And I'd used up all the ones that I already had from on previous projects. And I happened to pop in there last night for something, and they were there, so I was really happy, so I grabbed a bunch. But yeah, I do like these ones a lot. The other ones I really like. Now, it sounds to me, I'm in Canada, and it sounds like in the States your Walmart has not only better things but better deals, because our florals here at Walmart, unless you get them on clearance, they're not cheap. They're actually quite expensive in my opinion. But they used to carry the flocked ones, so they kind of look like this, but they were flocked, if that makes sense. And I absolutely love them, and I haven't seen them there in forever. So I'm just gonna measure what I should do. That can be my measurement. And just using my wire cutters, I'm just gonna cut them down to size. Alright, so that's our little bunny guy with all his florals in them. So I'm gonna go get you guys some finished pictures. And I hope you loved this and it inspired you to create something to bring some Easter into your home as well. Alright, so it is the coolest craft. It's going to be one of the shortest filming times, but one of the longest ones I've done in a long time actually. So I picked this up at the Dollarama. I didn't want the teal and they didn't have a white, so I don't mind if it peeks through because you're really not going to see it when we're done, but I didn't want it too teal because you can see how dark it was on the bottom. However, if you love that color, you can leave it alone and just go over top or whatever works for you. So I also have, and I have 3 colors of these. I've got these guys that I picked up from Dollarama. I picked them up in a green and a purple as well. They are stunning. They are so pretty. So what I've done is I've already done the bigger ones because I wanted to see how it worked, and I will show you that at the end here. So this is the smaller one, and then I did 2 larger ones. For the larger ones, I needed almost 2 packs of them, not quite. I still have quite a few left, but 1 pack didn't quite do it. For the smaller one, I'm sure a pack will be more than enough. And so I just start on the top, and oh, my glue gun's not quite hot yet. Hang on. Okay, so the hot glue gun is now hot enough, and I just put the first one on, and then I just keep going around and around till it's all filled. So I would say find something on you know, Netflix, Disney, Prime, whatever, and binge watch, because it does take a long time. It took a little bit longer than I was anticipating, and like I said, I did 2 bigger ones. So those ones, it's hard to say exactly how long it took because it wasn't like it just sat there the whole time and did it. I'm up doing things and then I come back to it, and then I want to say probably the larger ones, which I'll show you after, probably took me an hour and a half each. But as I said, I'm like, that's not the only thing I'm doing at the time. I'm, you know, flipping laundry and, you know, all the things us girls do. So this little one, I'm anticipating maybe 20 minutes, half an hour tops kind of thing. So I am going to go ahead and cover the entire thing. Guys, I can't even tell you how gorgeous these are when they're done. Like, oh my gosh. So wait for it. It's so worth it. And it's kind of relaxing, actually, just to have your hands busy while you're watching, right? So I promise I won't make you watch this whole ordeal because, yeah, it does take a little while. But it is so worth it. It is so worth it. Okay, so that's our little egg all done. How gorgeous is that? And then I did the green one here. Oh, I didn't take my heat gun to get rid of my glue strings, but we'll take care of that too. And I just found this was sort of the inspiration. I saw these eggs, and then, sorry, I did the purple one too. How gorgeous are these? But I saw these eggs and I thought they were quite pretty. And then when I saw these and I realized they all kind of matched, that was the inspiration for this piece. I did start to put some little jewels in the odd one here, but I stopped doing it just because you really can't see them. I didn't think it would be beneficial. You weren't going to see them at all anyway. So then I picked up this from my local thrift store, which I paid apparently $2 for. I found this one at the Dollarama, and I had this one, but I think that one actually came from the Dollarama as well, maybe last Christmas. So let me go get these all on display and show you the final product. I think they turned out just beautiful. I just love these. I'm obsessed with them. They're so pretty. So let me get you some final pictures, and I hope this has inspired you.